Welcome to Hillhead's End for this lunchtime matchup between the Whitley Bay Beacons and the Streatham Storm. I'm Adam Matman and I'll be here with you for this one as, well, the Beacons need the points. Quite simply, they need to make sure that they come away with something from this game. Streatham, of course, they had points deducted, so they're in a difficult position themselves. As I'm just preparing for the game. But both sides having just ran through their pre-game chats and ready for the puck drop. You will note a new goalie in net for the Beacons. That is Sam Bolwell, who makes her debut. And we are underway then as Beth Milne carries out. Estelle Ip goes into a corner for Streatham. Steph Towns with a quick pass to release Ruby Newlands, who's onto it into a flash, gets a shot off at explosive pace there as she tests the Storm, who look good in those black jerseys with red trim. It's used to seeing them in their more traditional red. Ruby Newlands' trip there, that's got to be a penalty, and it is. Amy Campbell with her arm raised, so Beacons are going to go on a power play here very early on. 42 seconds in fact, so Katie Ann Drill goes to the box. It was a pretty straightforward call, that one. So the face-off is brought down into the Streatham end of the ice. Naomi Healy gets the start in net for the Storm. That's the third different goalie in 4 games that the Beacons have faced against the Storm this season. And as I say, it's Sam Bolwell who makes her debut because Megan Craig's injured with a broken ankle right now. We wish Megan all the very best in her recovery as Abby Coulshaw controls, works it back to Steph Towns. Ruby's open, she receives at the point. Lays it off to Casey Trail, whose pass is picked off but falls for Coulshaw, who tries to usher it forward towards Becky Castlewood. Jen Lawrence doing some good work to get it away. Now the Storm will carry out with Jamie Andrizzi, collected by Becky Castlewood on the blue line. Stroked out wide by Ruby Newlands towards Abby Coulshaw, and then Ange Taylor steals back in. Ruby twisting one way and the next, and then Abby Coulshaw will control. Minute 13 left on this Beacons power play then as Casey Trail sends it across to Abby Coulshaw, and return pass will play in the Beacons defender now. Becky Castlewood just having to straddle that blue line to make sure she didn't go offside there. Big wind-up shot from Steph Towns, cannons off the blade, I think, of Kimberly Brennan, works back out onto this near corner. Casey Trail's going for the change here. Steph Towns plays it out wide to Brennan as Vicky Smith joins the action. Becky Castlewood from Gretzky's office trying to work it back. Beth Milne clears only as far as Kimberly Brennan over on the far side now, floated back in by Vicky Smith. It's charged down and blasted clear by Izzy Whiteley as the puck comes all the way around the board. Steph Towns will leave it for Vicky Smith to gather. Whiteley closes in though. Vicky Smith very quickly put under pressure there by that strong forecheck from Izzy. She's forced a turnover, got one shot block, goes again, big rebound from Sam, and then the follow-up shots just stab wide, but Beacons playing themselves into trouble a little bit there. As Claire Turnbull will control. Gets a little bit of a bounce there off the boards and off Kimberly's foot, I think, as she advances. Poke check coming in from Amy Robbery, it was, who was able just to break up that play, but the Storm back to full strength then. So interestingly as well, the Storm have faced 3 different goalies in 4 games against the Beacons this season. Megan having played in the first 2, and then last time these 2 sides met just before the international break, it was Lucy Gruber as scored. Ruby Newlands, who carried in on the blue line. She was left alone. The Storm D just backed off, and she was allowed the time to drill that one into the bottom corner of the net, and the Beacons have a 1-0 lead. So a great start then for the Beacons as they get the early breakthrough. Caitlin Stocks controls. Sent it across to Caitlin Morrison. Jamie Indritsu will drop back. Welcome to Jamie's family. I know a lot of them tune in from Canada for these games. It's not Beacons TV, but we know we get players and families from all the teams who tune in, which is great. Great to have your support. As Ruby Newlands will carry out just past Lucy Ebbinger. Stolen back by Izzy Whitley. She can control, and it's cleared by Emma Dixon. Now Izzy will win it back, trying to set it up towards the play on the far side, which was Jamie, who fire back in, collected by Drill in the blue helmet. Robbery will get there. I thought she was going to leave it for a second there. She was just waiting for the puck to come to her. Drill tries to clear, but couldn't get that to pass out of the zone. Work back in, and Amy Robbery will gather once more. Good control by the youngster. Nice layoff by Drill to feed Izzy Whiteley as she heads back to the bench. Collected by Danielle Turnbull, who seems to have an extra stride on her step there, an extra burst of speed. It must be the new skates that she's trying out. 5 minutes played in, 1-0 Beacons. A great start from them. They've had that, well, a lot of time in the offensive zone, helped, of course, by that 2-minute power play, but right towards the end of the power play, after it had elapsed, it was when they took the lead. And Ruby, who had a very fine tournament in Riga, just chatting to her former GB under-18 coach there, Ange Taylor, and it's going to be another penalty on the Storm. I thought there was calling something. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe too many players. I thought I did see the official raise his hands in that way. Shot comes through from Casey Trell, forces Naomi Healy into a save. Puck comes loose. Ange Taylor's looking to get a breakaway. No, she decides to go for a sensible option and keep possession and eat up some more of a penalty clock rather than breaking on net. Oh, nicely done by Abby Coulshaw, who gets the puck into in front of her, follows it into the zone, battles along the boards against Beth Milne. Those two are former teammates. Of course, Beth did have a couple of years here in Whitley Bay before work took her down south. Abby Coulshaw fires. Oh, try to go high. Oh, looped up, and it's gone in this time. I think it's Ruby again. Great effort from Abby Coulshaw, initially out on the left wing. Forced the rebound, and Ruby was there to put home, went top shelf where Mama keeps the best peanut butter. And at 32 seconds into our power play, the Beacons convert and double their lead. So again, their positive start continues. Beacons 2 goals to a good, with not even 6 minutes on the clock here as Danielle Turnbull goes towards goal. Puck stolen back by Jamie Indritsu, who will carry out forward. Looking for Jane Ann Drill. That's going to go the length of the ice for an icing call, so that'll bring the play back, and we shall get a face-off back in the Storm zone as Mr. Robson makes a call there. Amy Campbell, who's a former Beacons player herself, she is the senior official here, the referee, who's got the orange armbands on. Work back by the Storm to Lee Hao Chong. Jane Ann Drill just colliding with the boards there. She tried to control the puck, put under some pressure by Kimberly Brengon on that far side. A shot comes in, forces a rebound. Danielle Turnbull battling away as well as Vicky Smith tried to keep it inside the zone, but that's given away and picked up by Drill, who scored a fantastic goal down in Streatham the last time these two sides met. I'd say around a month ago or so, as Lucy Ebinger just takes a tumble there. She's in the red helmet. Had a bit of an injury worry mid-season, but great to see her back. She missed the second game of the 4 between the two sides. Ange Taylor fakes, plays it out wide to the left. Shot comes in, big kick save by Sam Bolwell. Comes back out to Lee Hao Chong, whose shot is blocked by Danielle Turnbull. Good work from her, helping out her D, as Vicky Smith is put into the boards in the corner by Lucy Ebinger. Second Beacons player goes in there to help her out. Ange Taylor's there looking for the puck to come loose, and she's got it now as Claire Turnbull was the second Beacons player in there. Nice cutback, maybe a little bit too fierce. Jen Lawrence unable to control, but stolen back by the Storm on the far side. Maybe Robbery it is, who was up from the back doing a good job there. Work back, now Beth Milne will control. Plays it forward, Lucy Ebinger will follow in, but Vicky Smith has time to clear. Far as Kimberly Brengan, who will dart down this left wing side. Beth Milne, who's always impresses me when she comes up against her former side. A looped pass to try and release Ange Taylor, but it's picked off by Emma Dixon. Collected by Caitlin Morrison, comes down to Sam Bolwell, who she's, I think it's her first game in the WNIHL this season. Of course, has spent most of her career with the Kingston Diamonds, as Steph Towns plays it forward towards Amanda McWilliams. Shots high and comes back off a plexi, controlled by Beth Milne as she tries to clear. But good play on these near balls by Claire Turnbull, works it back towards Emma Dixon, and then Abby Coulshaw, who's back check in there. It's won back by Caitlin Morrison. Almost picked off there by the Storm as they look to push out. Shots floated in into the corner. Comes back to Casey Trail, picked off by Lau. Again clears. Casey Trail collects at centre red, across to Caitlin Morrison, gets a return pass to GB defenders there. And Caitlin was very unfortunate not to make the final roster for Riga, but very much part of the training roster, and went out to the Four Nations in Denmark just prior to that, so very much in the picture for GB right now. See, one of 5 players on the team who are here today, and if you look at the bigger picture of the team, which of the players not quite available, you can argue that although she is retired from international duty, Louise Adams would easily walk onto that GB team if she was, or did make herself available for selection once again. Collected by Izzy Whiteley on the far side, fires from the high slot, straight down the middle though, and Sam Bolwell able to stop the puck dead and then sweep it clear. It's gone into a corner. Whiteley working it back, helped by Jane Andrill. Puck comes loose as there's a tangle between Danielle Turnbull there and Lee Hao Chong. Estelle Ip works it back. Carried in by Jamie Indritz, who's part of a GB setup now as well, of course. She's one of the reasons Caitlin couldn't get in the team, is such that depth there on the blue line for GB right now. Jamie having a fantastic tournament along with her teammates. GB eventually finished 4th, of course, but if results had gone their way on that final round of games, could have even have finished top and got promoted. Very unlucky to come away without a medal in the end, but shows how far we've come to be disappointed at finishing 4th. As Emma Dixon controls, looks out the corner, picked off by Ange Taylor though, nobody to pass to, and it's cleared by Caitlin Morrison, who will release Ruby Newlands, who's now on a hat-trick, of course. Winds up the shot, just wide of the goal, goes into the corner. Amanda McWilliams will chase down. Amy Robbery will collect. Wants to go the other way. Caitlin Morrison breaks the play up once more. Touched off by Casey Trail. Big wind-up shot by Steph Towns after a nice little cushion pass by Ruby Newlands, and then the follow-up shot just pops into the glove of Naomi Healy. She will gather that, and with just less than 9 minutes remaining in the period, it's still a 2-0 lead to the Beacons then. Still asking questions of the Storm. Their only victory this season did come here against these same opponents in November. But on that occasion, the Storm did, they did get some goals back late on. They weren't out of it by any means, and perhaps that's been the Beacons' problem this season, is not being able to close games out when they have been in the lead. So they need to continue to make hay while the sun shines. And whilst they're on the attack, convert. As Ruby Newlands goes from distance, and then Abby Coulshaw right on the doorstep works it back to Steph Towns. Gets back to Vicky Smith, just wide of the goal. Goes back to Ruby Newlands on the far side as she's ushered into the boards by Jamie Dritzy, and then Jane Andrill will carry out. Sends it out wide to Izzy Whitley, who just checks back to hold on to possession. Played wide of the goal. Shot from the low slot from Jamie Dritzy. It's blocked and goes wide. Jane Andrill, who's in the blue helmet and blue shorts, is from Milwaukee and used to play alongside Megan Stouts, who's with the Queen Bees. Two players from Milwaukee we have in the WNIHL this year. As it's carried out by Ange Taylor. She carries the puck up out of the defensive zone. Picked off on the far side by Kimberly Brengan. Good work though by Amy Robbery. Oh, and then Beth Milne blows a tyre there. Just lost an edge, which had her looking like Bambi on ice for a second there, but thankfully for her, there was no Beacons player in position to take advantage. Becky Castlewood gets a shot off and gloved by Naomi Healy. Naomi, who was with the Queen Bees a couple of years ago before moving across to South London. There seemed to be a bit of a merry-go-round that summer as all goalies moved. Lucy Gruber, who was with Streatham, moved to Guildford, I think, initially, before ending up at the Queen Bees, and is now with the Beacons. Naomi, who was with the Queen Bees, is at Streatham. And Amelia McGinley, who was at Guildford and won the playoffs with them in 2022, moved to Slough to play for the Queen Bees to complete that sort of trio of moves there. As Lucy Ebinger and Danielle Turnbull battle in front of a Beacons bench, and the puck is deemed to be dead, so we'll get a stoppage there. Streatham are in action again tomorrow. They go down to Hull. I believe the players are staying on Tyneside overnight before making the journey down to Humberside. So they play the Kingston Diamonds, and again, as I mentioned just before, puck drop, having had those points rather controversially taken from them, they're in something of a desperate need to claw them back and get themselves back into a playoff contention, where at one stage it was looking almost a formality. They were in third place, and then those 4 points have seen them plummet down to fifth, so currently outside of a playoff spot. Oh, that was a calculated risk there by Caitlin Morrison. It was a clever little back or drop pass that was picked off, but there was Storm players coming in. On that far side, Steph Towns does good work to try and squeeze the Storm. Prevents the breakout and forces them back into a deeper position. Lee Hao Chong plays it across. Gillian Fales almost losing an edge herself there. That's a worrying sign if it's ices like that early on. This is still in the first period. Of course, no ice cuts doesn't make it easy. Sent off around the boards by Vicky Smith. She'll go for the change. That's a nice dump in there. Steph Towns quick onto that in a flash. Beacons as well, of course, they're on the road tomorrow as well. That's a road double-header for the Storm. As the Beacons have to make the trip down to Solihull for 7:30 face-off. Beacons TV will be there for you. Well, it will actually be Ice Maidens TV, but we'll be there covering the game for you as Ange Taylor doing a good job of breaking the play up. Or was it, sorry, Izzy Whiteley even it was, who was cutting through a defensive zone. Game hastily rearranged as they had to juggle some fixtures around. It means that the Beacons game in Solihull has been moved forward by a month, and so we will be there tomorrow for you. Jen Lawrence cuts back, works it, good save by Sam Bolwell, fantastic save. Sam, who, as well as playing for the Kingston Diamonds in recent years, has also been playing men's hockey, was with the Sheffield Steel Dogs for a number of years, and most recently with the Bradford Bulldogs. Teammates with Abby Coulshaw. Lucy Ebbinger sends across to Jen Lawrence. Nice kick save by Sam. Gets it away. Wind-up shot from Jamie Andritzi. Deflects off Casey Trail, and then again cleared. It might have been Caitlin Stocks who was there, who just swept that one aside with a little over 4 minutes left in the period. Storm coming back into it and late in this period here as Milne cuts through the neutral zone, sends one in just wide of the net. Will chase it down, but Caitlin Morrison sticking with her. Beth Milne showing some good strength there, and then trying to crash that one home right on the doorstep as Sam doing a good job of stopping it. Plays ball hockey for GB as well. It was still a mystery to me why she wasn't included in the GB team as well. For me, she's arguably the best goalie this country's got. And certainly in the WNIHL over the last 3 years, she's put in some fantastic performances. Control behind the back of the net. Jane Andrill, shots deflected up off Emma Dixon's stick and hits the underside of the old bowling alley. That will wake up the pigeons in there and disturb all sorts of dust, I'm sure. It used to be a fantastic little bowling alley in there. I'm not sure what it's used for now. Jen Lawrence with the draw. Amy Robbery will chase that one down, with Claire Turnbull closing in on her. Lucy Ebbinger got a piece of that, but Amanda McWilliams can work it back to Vicky Smith. Abby Coulshaw just readjusting her feet as Jen Lawrence closes her down. She's had her in almost a little bit of a bear hug there, but Abby's got free now and will control down this right wing. Needs a bit of support. She's got it with Claire Turnbull keeping up with her. Amanda McWilliams just behind her in the low slot. Going to be another penalty here. Casey Trail calling for it. Worked back in the corner by Claire Turnbull. Sam Barwell comes back to the bench for the extra attacker, which will be Steph Towns, who's calling for it. Puck's just wide from Vicky Smith. Collected by Townsy as she will control. Lucy Ebbinger trying to steal the puck back. Now the Storm will get a touch on it with Gillian Fales, but no, they're going to say it wasn't an obvious enough connection there. So Townsy's got time on the puck. Will find Becky Caston-Wood. Plays it out wide to Ruby Newlands off the board. This is a prolonged, delayed penalty here for the Beacons. Caitlin Stocks comes off a skate there of the Storm, and we will eventually get the stoppage. I think Beth Milne it was who gathered it in with 2:08 remaining in the period. So that will allow for the penalty to be called. It's going to be on Ange Taylor, and the Beacons will go back on the power play. Their third of the period. They couldn't convert on their first, but did score soon after, going back to full strength. Then converted, 28 seconds in on that second one. So Abby Coulshaw works it back to Steph Towns, gets a return pass on the left wing. Thought about shooting, but will delay. Beacon is just looking to get set here, sends it across to Casey Trell, sails through her leg zone and allows Jane Andrill to blast the puck clear, as Ruby Newlands will have to retreat. That will burn the first 15 seconds off the penalty clock then. Controlled by Ruby Newlands. She will cycle back round. Spreads the play out wide to Becky Castor-Wood. Beacon's passing hasn't been fantastic up to now, and Townsy getting caught in possession there. Jane Andrill gets a shot on net. Becky Castor-Wood having to clear. They just played themselves into trouble a little bit here, sitting deep. Beacon's trying to get this power play going. It's not really worked from so far, and the puck sort of just left Ruby's stick there. Has to go it again. Has a second go at it, and will play Abby Coulshaw in now, who drives and went short side, just forcing Naomi Healy into a fingertip save. Storm will clear though. 58 seconds left on this Beacons power play. It's not exactly got going yet, as I said before. Casey Trell gets the pass from Kimberly Brengan. Kimberley will win it back. Gets up the corner to Claire Turnbull. Again, strong forecheck here by the Storm. Jen Lawrence putting the Beacons under pressure. Casey Trail will gather. Enters the zone, needs some support here. Will try the attempted drag back, but stolen back by Estelle Earp. Good defending there by Kimberley Brennan, and it had to be because Estelle was looking to break in there. Then she spreads the play out wide. Jamie Andrizzi will gather. 18 seconds left on this player advantage for the Beacons. Estelle Earp will control and then bank it off the boards to Izzy Whiteley. I'd say that the Storm have killed this one off with ease, actually. As Kimberley Brennan will control. 2 seconds left now, and the Storm are back to full strength, and they'll gain some confidence from that, I'm sure. As it's worked back. That will do it for the end of the period as well then. So, well, a 2-goal lead. The Beacons would have took that at the start. As we will take a very short break. We will be back with you in around about 3 minutes' time, so please don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Hillheads then. As we're about to start the second period, Beacons with a 2-0 lead. Storm, who I mentioned before, are here for a double-header weekend, playing here in Whitley Bay today and then in Hull tomorrow. Well, without one of their top players, Chantal Air, who I know is listening in, so welcome Chantal. Sad to see that you're not here this weekend, but I hope you're doing okay. As we will get the period started then, as Beth Milne will carry in over on that far side. Forward to Abby Coulshaw. Will release Ruby Newlands there on the left wing. Gets what about the shot? Beth Milne sticking with her. Such a fast skating defender, Beth Milne. Very difficult to play against. Beacons would love to have her back in the team, I'm sure, if opportunities arose, but she's pretty settled down in London from what I understand. Nice pass forward. Will release Izzy Whitley, but good defending from Caitlin Morrison. And it's very fast paced to the start of his second period. Beth Milne will drop back into the corner. Jane Andrill's open. She'll receive the puck. Stretch pass picked off by Caitlin Morrison again as she tangles with Ange Taylor. Over on that far side, Ange will turn, gets the puck dumped it into the corner for Lucy Ebbinger to work it back out again. Lucy gets there just ahead of Vicky Smith for a second time to work it in that corner. Jen Lawrence as well, trying to set it up. So Amy Robbery, who just fires wide. Ange Taylor, who always seems to play the game at 100 miles an hour. She's just so much quicker in her thought process, in the way she stick handles and everything. Has defenders tied up in knots, just the way how quickly she can transition her game. Lucy Ebbinger over on that far side will control, and then Lee Hao Chong, I think it was, who joined the rush on that far side. Or pinched in, I should say, as a shot from distance. That's going to be offside, as the puck was a good 2 or 3 feet outside the blue line. Becky Castor-Wood will prevent the puck from, was trying to break out there, but the puck got, she wasn't able to do so. The puck got stuck on her on the way out. Now Danielle Turnbull will control on the left wing. It's a 2 against 1 here. She'll flash it just wide of the post, and then Becky Castle-Wood sends it across. It will be controlled on that far side by Murray. It's in the corner. Question maybe that Emma Dixon might have been held there on the way through, but no call given. Maria Murray once again in the corner, working it back, picked off by Becky Castor-Wood, who's challenged by Jane Andrill, but quickly wins the puck back. Tenacity and hard work from Becky showing once again. As Ruby Newlands rides one challenge there from Jane Andrill. She's in full flow here, and she's having one of her best games for Beacons this season. Clearly, those 2 weeks in Riga has done her a world of good. She's looked on fire, and that's not just because of her flame-coloured hair. Works up along these near boards. Emma Dixon again sends it around the boards. Beth Milne. Jane Andrill picked off by Claire Turnbull. Just in front of her crease, or then Drill will try to set it up. Shot comes back in from Izzy Whiteley, comes back out to Amy Robbery. Good block into the skates by Claire Turnbull, and that will release Ruby Newlands on that left-hand side. Carries in. Collects the puck off the boards after it looked like the Storm had done just enough to break it up there, but they do regain possession with Beth Milne now. She'll go for a stretch pass, which is controlled by Casey Trell. Took it on the blade and then controls. That's a shot off, forces Naomi Healy into the save. She'll now gather it. Naomi, who is British but was born in Tokyo. That's an interesting little stat for you. Beth Milne will collect. Casey Trell off the boards on the far side. Ruby Newlands trying to set up Steph Towns there in the low slot, and she just stabbed wide, working it back now as the Storm looking to break out with Estelle Ip. Abby Coulshaw controls. Wide to Casey Trail. She'll work it back. Estelip will collect the loose puck, sends it around the boards. Almost 5 minutes played here at the start of the second period as Jen Lawrence was left all alone in a low slot, but Sam Bow has just stolen that one off her with a fantastic save. We'll get a face-off then to the right of what is Sam Bolwell's net. We've seen her make some fantastic saves at that end of the ice in the past, normally for the Kingston Diamonds against the Beacons, so it's nice to be on the other side of that for a change. And she protects the scoreboard end. Puck comes back out. Jamie Indrizzi will collect. Kimberly Brengan works the puck down that side. Jamie Indrizzi will control, and it's laid off by Lucy Ebbinger. Emma Dixon gets her back there. Ange Taylor collects, works it back. Gillian Fales couldn't quite control it. Abby Coulshaw looking to lead the rush at the other end, sends it around the boards and picked off by some good defending once again by Jamie up along these near boards. Li Hao Chong, her defensive partner, will gather. It's to carry out. Lucy will gather on that far side as Danielle Turnbull comes in. Puck comes loose. And then Becky casts a word just out of Lucy Ebinger's reach. Tried to break the play up, but Becky's advanced. That's a nice little poke check there, though, by Jamie Indrizzi. And once more, try to go short side there. Danielle, who got in behind Li Hao Chong and just tried to, well, almost shoot from behind her, really. As Lau will control upon these near boards in front of her bench. Kimberly Brengan battling well up and along the Zamboni entrance there, just in the middle of your picture. And the puck's clearly gone dead as we get a whistle on the play. Just over 6 minutes played, and it's still in the second bit. It's still 2-0 Beacons. Reminder, tomorrow Beacons on the road to Solihull, 7:30 face-off. We should be bringing you that one live courtesy of Ice Maidens. Please do tune in for that one. I was hoping to try and get down to Hull and cover the Storms game there as well. Unfortunately, the face-off got moved to 4 p.m, so I couldn't fit both games in. But if it had stayed at midday, I could have just about managed both. But we will be bringing you the game from Solihull as the Vixens now back top of the standings. They're level on points with the Queen Bees, but have the tiebreaker. So still, I'm sure, plenty of twists and turns to go in that one. Vixens obviously ran into a bit of penalty trouble this season. Some of their top players currently out injured, like Katie Henry, Saffron Allen, and Grace Garber, a lot of their top offensive players, as Estelle carries in. Casey Trowell works it out towards Amanda McWilliams. Her clearance is kept back inside by the Storm. Estelle gets there, hits into a corner. Jen Lawrence now works it across. Beth Milne fires, didn't get a clean connection on it. Steph Towns will steal it back, and it was a nice heavy touch, but it was a deliberate one. It plays her into space, and she's just outpaced Beth there. Gets a shot on net, and that was a fantastic bit of play by the Beacons player coach there. Worked hard to get herself into that position. As Ange Taylor carries out from the deep position, sends it forward to Lucy Ebbinger in the red helmet there. Looks to send the puck back out wide to Ange, who fires. It might have come off the face cage there of Sam Bolwell, but either way, she made the stop, and back come the Beacons on the far side with Abby Coulshaw to Ruby Newlands, who stabs it towards goal, just wide. Lucy Ebbinger clears, fired back in by Emma Dixon. It's offside though, with a couple of Beacons players still in the zone, so we will get a whistle on the play. But great transition there, end to end. Both teams having a couple of chances. That save from Sam Bolwell, and then at the other end, Ruby almost snatching a hat-trick marker. Becky Caster-Wood to take the draw against Ting Lau. Gillian Fales Out wide to Maria Murray. Shot on the short side by Murray. Or was it? No, it was Lau. It was blocked though. Storm have had a lot more time in the offensive zone in this period. Shot count must have gone up as well as Ndritsi fires from range, just wide of Sam Barwell's outstretched glove. Shot through traffic, and they're always difficult to defend against as Kimberly Brengham will gather. Finds Becky Castor-Wood. Li Hao Chong keeps it in on the far side at the boards. There's both sides battling away on that far side, almost at the midpoint of the game then. Still 2-0 Beacons. Puck comes back loose. Vicky Smith will control. Kimberly Brennan stabs forward. Well defended by the Storm though, and then Ndritsi will drop back and collect. Got time. That's a lovely stretch pass to play in Estelle Ip, who winds one up, but Sam Barwell getting a full body behind it, making the save. Casey Trail controls, sends it towards net. Estelle Ip takes it behind the back of the net. Izzy Whitley. And Jane Andrill on that far side. Amy Robbery. Shots charged down by Amanda McWilliams, who did a good job there. Abby Coulshaw controls, gets in behind Whiteley. Showing a lot of strength there. Amanda McWilliams collects a loose puck. Coulshaw from Gretzky's office gets a return pass from Claire Turnbull. Worked free by Caitlin Morrison. Shot from McWilliams from the high slot. It just sort of looped wide of the goal there. Took a deflection off something on the way through. Beth Milne trying to work it free now, and then it kicked away by Izzy Whiteley, who was back behind her net. Caitlin Morrison, it's gloved by Beth Milne. That stung her fingers, I think, but you could tell by her reaction. Puck's in the corner, and the Storm regain possession. We're past the midpoint of the game now. 8:40 to go in this second period. 2-0 Beacons as the puck is played out wide to Estelle Ip. Delays and then controls as the Storm make a couple of changes, but that allows Emma Dixon to come in and steal the puck off her. Estelle Ip was doing a good job of just wasting a bit of time there until she got a bit more support, but in the end that just allowed Emma to come in and make that proactive decision to steal the puck off her. Nice pass to Abby Coulshaw, who's a good option to carry out here. Again, Beacons making some changes this time as Abby had to control and delay before firing in just wide of a goal as Lucy Ebinger digs the puck out the corner, put under pressure by Steph Towns on that far side. Lucy will send it into the end boards, and she's got support from her D there to dig it out for her. Collected in the neutral zone by Casey Trail. 7:43 to go now in this middle period as Danielle Turnbull will turn, gets a shot off, it comes back loose. Townsy tried to fire low, but Naomi Healy just made sure she rooted herself to that position and made it impossible to get the puck past her, closing her pads on it. And we will get a face-off in the offensive zone. Lau will take the draw against Steph Towns. And it's the Beacons who just about won it initially, but puck comes back loose off the boards, and Storm couldn't quite clear. It's onto it in a flash by Ruby Newlands. Back to Casey Trail, winds one up, fires just wide of the goal, comes back off the boards, and Maria Murray on that far side couldn't control. Steph Towns will send one in on net. It just strikes the bottom of the goal frame and comes back out behind as Ruby Newlands is trying to force a turnover once more. Danielle Turnbull steals it back, and then Beth Milne will carry out. Milne still in possession here, sends a shot on net. It's kicked clear by Sam Bolwell and wide. Casey Trail, who sends it forward towards Ruby Newlands. wide towards Maria Murray. Puck sent around the boards. Collected by Abby Coulshaw. Nice little backhand flick to try and play in Kimberly Brengan. Over to Jane Andrill, who's dropped back into a deeper position there. Maria Murray will advance, send it around the boards, and the Storm will complete their line change here. Vicky Smith sends it across. Abby Coulshaw controls. And then Abby Coulshaw looking to steal in. Vicky Smith controls. And after the Storm had controlled a lot of the early passages of play in this period, the Beacons very much playing themselves back into it, and they've probably had the better of the chances the last few minutes. 6 minutes to go though in the period as we go back to centre ice, and we need a new puck. Becky Castlewood with a draw against Izzy Whiteley. Storm come out with it then as Estelle Ip will flick it into his offensive zone for Jane Andrill to chase after it, but well defended by Caitlin Stocks, who works it clear. Shot through traffic, Sam Bolwell clears. Sat up in the mid slot there, but Drill couldn't find a way past her, and then again the shot from distance is redirected into a corner. Becky Castlewood will carry out, very quickly pulling the pressure by Ip on that far side, who pokes back in, works some space for herself. Scored a goal late on for the Storm when these two sides last met down in South London. That was a difficult game for Beacons. They arrived short benched, and after being 3 goals down but still very much in the game, matching the Storm, they just tired in that final stretch and let in 3 late goals, which saw a 6-0 win for the Storm. But I don't think the Beacons were as bad as the scoreline suggests. Yes, the Storm certainly deserved to win the game, but it was a closer game than the scoreline would suggest. 4:51 to go then, as we will get an offensive zone face-off for the Beacons here. Ange Taylor and Steph Towns sharing a bit of a joke there on the way through. 2 great competitors and great servants of the women's game over the last couple of decades, both with glittering careers, and fantastic servants to either side that they've played for. Jen Lawrence on that far side tried to find Lucy Ebinger, well defended by Casey Trail. Yeah, the puck had come out, they're saying it was offside. Beth Milne has to give up on it, and whistle blows. So that will bring the face-off back outside the zone then. 4:41 to go in the second period. So Townsy and Ange Taylor will go again. Back to Amy Robbery. Just behind Beth Milne. She has to collect off the boards. Abby Coulshaw puts her under pressure. Jen Lawrence gathers. Tries to find Ange Taylor. She does. But then Steph Towns back checking well. Regains possession for her team with Lucy Ebinger trying to close in on her. Finds Abby Coulshaw. Oh, gets inside Beth Milne there, but nice poke check from Amy Robbery. And then perfect pass there from Ange Taylor to play in Jen Lawrence, but a fantastic cut challenge by Abby Coulshaw. Worked so hard for her team and got back well there, dive full length just to poke that one away. Thought was one of the best defensive plays of the season for sure, and prevented the Storm from getting that shot off. But what a pass that was from Ange Taylor, deep in her own zone, a releasing pass to play her in. Izzy Whiteley will take the draw, and she will face Becky Castlewood when she arrives from the bench. Steph Town just going over to the timekeeping bench there to relay a message. That could potentially be whether we are getting an ice cut or not. That did look like the Zamboni driver to me, so hopefully there is going to be an ice cut. for the girls. Oh, and then a chance there for the Storm. It was just stabbed wide though. I thought for a second there it just got inside the post, but Sam had it covered. Lizzie Whitley looking to get in behind once again. Good defending by Becky Castlewood. Sent across to the far side. Lee Hao Chong fires in. There's a lot of traffic in front of the nets. Sam Ball was at full stretch there. She cranes her neck around the corner to see where it is, but it stopped. She'd made the save, and we shall get a face-off in the Beacon zone with 3:21 to go. So a little bit stop-start here down the final stretch in this second period. Shout out to our game day DJ as well, Sophie Smith, Vicky's daughter, who's doing a fantastic job standing in for her father, who normally is our match day DJ. That one's picked off as Lucy Ebinger tried to carry out. High glove control there by the Storm. Jen Lawrence just controlling out of her reach of Casey Trail, and Ange Taylor works it back to Ebinger, gets a shot off, or it flicks off the fingertips of Sam Bolwell there and wide of the goal. You can see there's quite a bit of snow mounting up on the sides of Sam's net there. I know you kind of expect that with goalies as they shave the crease, and you can just see her swiping some of that snow out of the blue paint there and away. 2:42 to go then in the period. Warmer weather outside has meant that plexi was steamed up a bit before the start. It still is in places, but you can at least thankfully see through the plexi now. We was a bit worried in case that would restrict your viewing. Abby Coulshaw on the far side works it for Steph Towns, but Izzy Whiteley had already stolen in behind and could steal the puck back. Cleared, comes back to Caitlin Morrison, known as Mooney. That's a nickname. I'll not explain why. Save that for another time. There's Abby Coulshaw rather on the far side, and now it's Amy Robbery who will battle well and is too strong there for Ruby, but Ruby's not giving up there and puts under pressure, forces a turnover, and Caitlin Morrison is there to regain possession. Over on the far side, Abby Coulshaw controls on the centre red line. Now it's Steph Towns, winds one up, and drills that one just wide, but wasn't off by much. Townsy, who scored one of the goals of the season when these two sides last met at Hillheads, fired from distance, and she scored a hat-trick that day. Well, what was great to see. Ended a personal drought for that start of the season, but her play's still been fantastic, and you can see there she works it towards Ruby Newlands, who controls well, and she darts in behind. On, she was there was a little bit of a hip check coming in there, which put her off. And has it gone in? It must have squeezed in. Yeah, I was just about to say, Ruby gets got a shot off and stabbed wide, and then it come back out. Perhaps that was Townsy who just squeezed it in, but the lights come on. I've got to say I didn't see too much of it. It was a bit of a delay, reaction and celebration as well, but I think everyone had thought the player died there, but clearly the Beacons didn't, and that is 3-0, and I'm assuming it was Steph Towns who squeezed that in on the glove side there. But some fantastic persistence from Ruby Newlands to create that chance really as Danielle Turnbull straight from the puck drop is back into the offensive zone, finds Kimberly Brengan, sends it through, and it come off a couple of skates on the way through, or sticks rather on the way through. Nice pass by Lucy Ebinger to find Ange Taylor, who enters the zone, controls very fast there on that right hand side, try to go short side, but Sam Bolwell stonewalling her once again. To Great Britain greats of the past. Jamie Andrizzi cuts in off the left wing, gets a shot off, and again Sam will cover up with Vicky Smith closing in on over to support with just over 40 seconds to go. As anyone listening from Teesside will be getting excited around about now hearing this tune, I'm sure. We'll have a bit of pig bag at the Riverside Stadium and at Billingham Stars games. Jane Andrill winds one up from distance. Again, kick save by Sam Bolwell, who was screened there. There was a battle going on in front of her. Did well to make that stop. Drill carries back in. Gets a shot on there, and again closes her pads, makes a save. Don't know how long that she's been out of action for in terms of when her last game was, but she's looked pretty sharp here, Sam, like she's never been away. As I say, I know this is her first game in the WNIHL this season, but she has been with Bradford at the start of the campaign. Battle in the corner, but this should just about do it then for the period. As the puck, well, no, the puck's going to be blown dead, so there will be just enough time for a face-off. 4 seconds and change then, as the Beacons defend this 3-0 lead, as I will head into a second break. Becky Castor-Wood against Izzy Whitley. Comes back loose. Ange Taylor got just enough time to get a shot off, but can't find a way past Sam Bolwell. That will do it then for the second period. I'm going to, yes, the gate's open, so I think there may well be an ice cut here. Looks like they are heading off the ice. So yeah, we will be back with you in around about 15 minutes time then. So please do not go anywhere. Welcome back to Hillheads then. As you can see, we've got a nice slick finish to the ice cut. Hopefully that will lead to some more good hockey. Although I think they are just trying to sweep away some excess water, surface water there. Yeah, the squeegee's out. They're going to just brush that aside. I didn't notice it down the bottom, but the neutral zone looks nice. It's I think because, as I said before, there's warmer weather here now. That just means that it's not perhaps freezing as quick. Shout out then to Beacons forward Louise Adams, who's tuning in for this one. Been a fantastic signing for the Beacons. It's actually been an interesting roster when you see some of the names on there, like likes of Louise and Sam Bolwell today and Lucy Gruber. They've added some really high-profile players. It's been great to see. The Storm players having to do their own ice repairs there then. Well done to Estelle Ip, who managed to clear the ice, and we're now ready to get underway. Amy Campbell drops the puck. We're back underway then, and it falls to the Streatham Storm. It's Estelle who controls behind the back of the net. Estelle will surge forward, gets it inside Vicky Smith, gets the shot off, kick save by Sam Bolwell. It was more of a pad save, but either way got the job done. And the puck's away. Milne tries to set it up onto the left-hand side, almost stabbed home for what was a great finish, but equally great save. So we've got 30 seconds or so into the third period. We get a face-off on the far side between Izzy Whitley and Claire Turnbull. It's Storm who come out with it. Amy Robbery sends it around the boards. Control by Lee Hao Chong. Gets a return pass from Estelle Ip as they control behind the back of the Beacons net. Up along the near boards now. Izzy Whiteley comes in and steals the puck back. Good defending by Emma Dixon, and the Beacons just about get it away here, and they will clear the zone. That'll see Danielle Turnbull streak into that corner, getting those new skates to good use. Izzy Whiteley looking to control. It's a nice challenge there by Casey Trail, who did enough to put her off and steal the puck back. Amanda McWilliams helps complete the job as the Beacons look to try and control. Izzy Whiteley can only dump in, and then Emma Dixon will have a second go at clearing. This time it comes off the boards but falls back to Jen Lawrence. Finds Jane Andrill. Danielle Turnbull got a piece of it but couldn't quite clear. Puck falling nicely for the Storm as they try and build just out of Lucy Ebbinger's reach, but will control on the far side with Jamie Andrizzi, and then Ebbinger will control once more. Puck comes loose, Ange Taylor fires, hit the sort of right armpit there with Sam Bolwell. It was certainly up in the, just below her shoulder. Just needed to get some part of her body on it, and she did the job well there as Ange tried to get the height on it to go top shelf. Jen Lawrence will take the draw. As the puck is controlled in the corner. Lucy Ebbinger controls once more. Work back to Indritzi off the boards and then controlled on the far side. Ange Taylor couldn't quite get it under control. Becky Castor-Wood will though. And she works it back off the boards to Kimberly Brengan, who will release. Danielle Turnbull gets a shot on net, forces Naomi Healy into a pad save. She controls it into the corner. Beacons will try and work it back out. Jane Andrill is able to clear. Ange Taylor collects in a deep position. Becky Castor-Wood stops the breakout before it happens. Casey Trail controls at centre red, fires back in, Drill will collect. Nice little control then, and Ebbinger will work it once more. Controlling that far side. Fails. Worked it back. Beth Milne just about keeps it inside, but then Beacons will clear. Collected by Amy Robbery in the neutral zone. She dumps back in. Beacons will collect with Emma Dixon. Steph Towns will control. Nice little layoff there from a deep position from Casey Trail, and then poke check, but didn't have the distance to clear. Abby Coulshaw pushing in, trying to help it on its way, and then Kimberly Brennan's clearance just didn't have the legs to get over the line. Beth Milne fires back in. Lee Hao Chong controls. Tries to work it back into the low slot. We'll go again from the high slot this time. Banked off the boards by Steph Towns. Comes across for Robbery to fire in. Collected by Casey Trail. Abby Coulshaw working it around the corner. Picked off by the Storm. They work it back to the point, and Amy Robbery winds one up. Blocked by Abby Coulshaw. She breaks out. The puck will fall to her. Abby's in behind Beth Milne here, but Beth Milne's got the legs to try and keep up with her. But it doesn't matter because Coulshaw has just netted an absolute fantastic finish to make it 4-0. Shave my face with a rusty razor. Four minutes 20 gone in the third and final period, and the Beacons have a 4-goal advantage given to them by their captain, Abby Coulshaw. Controlled by Estelle Ip. Kate Morrison will control, as Ruby Newlands will get in behind the Storm D there. Will collect the puck out the corner. Trying to crush home a fifth here. Remember, Ruby's still looking for that hat-trick marker. Collected at centre red. Played forward. Izzy Whitley gets it back towards Jeremy Andrizzi. Stretch pass picked off by Vicky Smith. Caitlin Morrison put under pressure by Lucy Ebbinger, who's never afraid to close in on the forecheck there. She's worked so hard for a team, didn't perhaps get the points that play deserves, but she does work hard for her team. Stands out in that red helmet as well, which is a commentator's delight. The same with Jane Ann Drill in the blue one, who she's about to pick out now. It's always useful. As the shot comes in, stings the palm of Naomi Healy, comes back out as Becky Castlewood battles for the puck. Jen Lawrence on that far side will carry out, finds Ange Taylor, who controls and enters the zone. Gets in behind, gets a shot off, but puck was just starting to trickle away from her stick and the control, and Sam was able to make a routine stop on her doorstep there with almost 6 minutes played now in this third and final period. 4-0 Beacons. Izzy Whiteley with a draw, works it back to Beth Milne. So the last game the Beacons played was against the Storm in Streatham just before the international break, so a quick turnaround. There's a funny quirk of fate as well. When they played here at the beginning of November, the Beacons then had a 2-month break either side of Christmas before they met again in Streatham, and no games played in between on that occasion either. So back-to-back fixtures, but with a few weeks of non-action in between. Lee Hao Chong worked some space for herself and set up Izzy Whiteley for the one-timer. Tried to drill it low, but again, Sam Bolwell just covered off the net, covered off that near post and got it away. Amy Robbery will control. Emily Brennan hooks it free, plays it into space, and That will allow her to go back to a bench. There's a storm. It took them a while to get back and reset. Great work on that far side by Steph Towns, putting Milne under pressure. Those two know each other well, of course, from the time when they were teammates here. Ruby Newlands controls on her own blue line. Drop pass towards Caitlin Stocks, who was player of the game in our last game here. Wound up one-timer for Steph Towns, and it was just off balance when she released that shot, and then Abby, who tried to... She's got time, collects the rebound, but then Storm had players back, and it was well worked by Maria Murray, who's another one who works hard for her team. Played forward, but Beacons will use the opportunity to make a line change, although won't be able to, of course, because it's an icing call. So Ruby Newlands, who looked like she was out of breath there at the end of her shift, wanted to get back to a bench. Well, won by Ange Taylor. Shot comes in off the left wing. It's deflected up. Lucy Ebinger tried to control right on Sam's doorstep there. Now she battles in the corner. Blasted clear by Steph Towns. Collected off the boards by Ruby Newlands. That's going to go for another icing. So you can tell that was a tired play after a long shift, and Ruby just wants to get back on the bench. But again, they'll have to stay out there for another face-off draw at least. Izzy Whitley to take the draw against Steph Towns once more. Jamie Ndritsi winds one up from distance, drilled it low once again and turned aside by Sam Bolwell. Oh, there's a lot of action going on in there. Beacon's trying to scramble it away, and it'll be Abby Coulshaw, as calm as anything, just picks it out of the crease. She's got Ruby Newlands up there with her. Now they can go for the line change if they need to. Steph Towns set up Coulshaw, who stabbed it towards net, but Naomi Healy made a good save, and now they will be able to complete that line change with just over 8 minutes played in this third and final period. It's 4-0 Beacons. Beth Milne controls. Lee Hao Chong couldn't quite get it under control on that far side though, and then Beacons control at centre red. Kimberly Brengan enters the zone now. Comes out to Amanda McWilliams. Lee Hao Chong over to a far side. Amy Robbery, I think it is on that far side, who's working away at the boards. Indeed it was. Estelle Ip now needs a bit of support. We'll find Izzy Whiteley behind her. Then Amy Robbery fires from distance. Ooh, took a couple of deflections on the way through there. Sails just behind the goal, but it could have literally gone anywhere then. Works around the boards. Comes Taylor trying to get some space for herself. Oh, again just flashes wide. Jen Lawrence controls off the end boards, plays it into space. Estelle Ip with Emma Dixon sticking with her. Amanda McWilliams trying to work it out, but she was put under pressure by Beth Milne straight away. Ange Taylor trying to set it up. They've got less than 10 minutes to get themselves back into this game. Streatham, as Amy Robbery makes a save. Oh, makes a shot, sorry, but it's blocked by Kim Brangan. Casey Trail in the corner. Lucy Ebinger trying to work it out there. As Claire Turnbull's in there too. Amanda McWilliams just about gets the puck over the line again. She was closed down by Beth Milne. Beth sticking to her there. Control by Casey Trail as Lucy Ebinger again puts her under pressure. Brought to her knees there by a challenge by, I think it was Jen Lawrence. No call given though. Another day that could have been called for tripping. Nice give and go between Emma Dixon and Casey Trail. As the Beacons make a couple of quick changes. Caitlin Stocks back out there. There's a huge influx of people have just walked in. Maybe getting ready for the public skate coming up next, but we've got a great view there at ice level. Shot comes in from distance then as Li Hao Chong shoots from range. Face off on the far side. Izzy Whitley and Steph Towns will duel it out. Storm have had a lot of possession over the last few minutes in this Beacon zone, but Beacon's looking dangerous on the break once again as Ruby Newlands controls. Sends one in on there. Good save by Naomi Healy. Comes back out for Abby Coulshaw. Estelle Ip winds one up. Sends it around the boards. Comes out of the corner, the public skating entrance in a funny angle. Jen Lawrence in control. Nice attempted poach out there by Abby Coulshaw, but Jen Lawrence now finds Lucy Ebbinger. She plays into the corner. That'll allow Jane and Drill even to control. Keeping her at arm's length, but she has to leave the crease. Leave the zone as she was offside. There's 7:38 to go. So we're going to face off just outside the Beacon zone. Milne controls into the corner. That last song is from a local artist, Shaq, from North Shields. Often is at the ice rink. In fact, our very own Iona Harrison did a video last Christmas before last, for that song with him, where he was dressed as Santa and she checked him into the boards. I know she had a lot of fun filming that one. As Steph Towns will control. Shot from the high slot there, but Naomi Healy will hold on, but gets the Beacons on offensive zone face-off with 7:04 remaining. Claire Turnbull goes in for the draw against Ange Taylor. Looks it back to Caitlin Morrison. Mooney, as we said before, is her nickname. And she gets the puck once again. Works it to Claire Turnbull from the high slot. It just seemed to loop over the top of the bar. Beacon's in control, but then, as I say, that Lucy Ebbinger gets possession back. Will release Ange Taylor down this near side. Sends it into space to Jen Lawrence. Oh, she fans on it from the high slot, but good passage of play. That it looked a good breakout by the Storm, just couldn't convert. Jemian Dritzy keeping the puck at arm's length away from her GB international colleague. Oh, great challenge there by Morrison once again. Did enough to put her off. Jane Andrew, that was questionable. That might have just come out of the zone there, but she just about, I think, kept it on the blue paint. Drill will gather. And Dritzy on the far side finds Lucy Ebbinger. Oh, she's stolen off of her by Emma Dixon, who's had a very strong game at the back today. Kimberly Brengan cuts inside Drill and then couldn't quite enter the zone, but will switch the play out wide. And Dritzy will gather on her own blue line. Has time to work it back to Drill. Goes for a stretch pass. It comes off Vicky Smith's stick. Whiteley will chase it into the zone, but Emma Dixon is there to clear. Estelle Ip steals it back. Oh, she scored. And Sam Bolwell, I'm sure, was hoping she would get the shutout, and with 5:35 to go, Estelle Ip has denied her that opportunity. Still a long way back from here, though, for the Storm. But, yeah, a bit of a hesitation in the D there, perhaps, and Estelle Ip didn't hesitate. She reacted quickest and had time to pick a spot. It was a very composed finish from her. And the previously unbeatable Sam Bolwell could do nothing about that one. Coulshaw banks it off the boards, finds Jen Lawrence. Oh, and then Lucy Ebbinger collects back. Nicely controlled by Casey Trail. Switches the play out wide, comes off the boards, and it'll be chased into a corner. It's going to be called for icing though, as Amy Robbery gets there just ahead of Casey Trail. 4:45 to go. Brings the face-off back into the Beacon zone then. Jen Lawrence controls on that left-hand side. Collected by Coulshaw. Sure. Well, the Storm, regardless of the outcome of this game, and no, they've got another tough game down in Humberside tomorrow. A win for the Diamonds would put a little bit of daylight between them and the Storm in terms of a playoff berth. As the shot is fired in from distance. It's been usually the same four sides, Queen Bees, Vixens, Guildford and Streatham, who have made the playoffs for the last few years. Kingston have missed out, so I'm sure given this opportunity this year, very much in the mix for a playoff spot, they're going to want to make sure that they get there, and they're a very tough opponent for a lot of teams, and particularly on home ice as the puck comes out, that Diamonds will want to win a game which they will probably highlight as being one of the important ones to do so. That one comes down, and that's going to be an icing call on the Storm this time. 3:56 to go as the game just seems to be dragging its feet a little bit here with the stoppages. Indritzi will carry out. Puck just getting loose on her, and Abby Coulshaw steals in quick as a flash. Works it over to Mooney. And then over to Ruby Newlands. Back to Mooney. And then Ruby. Izzy Whiteley. Comes loose now for Abby Coulshaw. Poked clear by Jane Andrill. Lee Hao Chong works it across to Estelle It. Cuts through the high slot out wide. Lee Hao Chong. Estelle It. Emma Dixon will now collect the loose puck. Storm very quick to force a turnover up along the boards though. Then Caitlin Morrison once more will clear. Finds Abby Coulshaw. Got time, and she'll delay. Just trying to eat up a bit more of the clock. 2.5 minutes to go. Sorry, 2:50 to go. As Beth Milne is going to go to the penalty box then. I don't know if it was from the crowd or from the bench, but there was a bit of frustration, I think, from the Beacons at some brutal challenges going in there. But anyway, it means the Beacons have a fourth power play of the game. Coulshaw to Trail to Steph Towns, back to Coulshaw to Towns on the point, out wide to Trail. Just trickles its way through the crease as Coulshaw works it back to Steph Towns. Picked off by Whiteley and then almost stabbed home by Becky Casterwood, who's ever alert to those situations. Coulshaw to Ruby Newlands, puck just sticking on her a little bit there. Finds Casey Trail via the boards. Coulshaw's open, still with Casey Trail. Ruby Newlands is awesome as well, as she was open as well, but Abby Coulshaw just seemed to sweep that one wide. Ruby Newlands, this is much better power play by the Beacons as Trail winds one up, forces Naomi Healy into the save. And now get another offensive zone face-off, but will allow the Storm a chance to change that penalty killing unit. Becky Castlewood to take the draw. Jamie Ndritsi will gather. Casey Trail closes in on her. Ange Taylor will have a chance to blast down the ice, but she'll carry out first before doing so. She'll eat up a bit more of that clock. Jamie Ndritsi trying to lead the rush with her. Ruby Newlands will collect the puck and re-enter the zone. Fires, forces the save from Naomi Healy, collects her own rebound, works it back to Steph Towns. Abby Coulshaw's open on the point, fires, comes off Amy Robbery as she makes a good block. Puck comes out the zone. Abby Coulshaw has to work hard to get there ahead of Ange Taylor. And again, did well there to show her strength. Steph Towns stealing the puck off Estelle before she could shoot a second one at net. Ruby Newlands with a nice drop pass to Steph Towns, puts it in there, it's come loose. Naomi Healy's covered up and 18 seconds left on the player advantage end for the Beacons. A little over a minute remaining in the game, but another offensive zone face-off then for the Beacons as they're going to end the game in the ascendancy here. Draw taken by Claire Turnbull, puck comes back out the zone, gathered by Vicky Smith. Caitlin Morrison controls. Beacons can just use the time to control here, keep a bit of possession as something's flown off the edge of someone's stick. One would assume it's a bit of tape, but it's sitting there on the ice. The official spotted it. Comes back to Kimberly Brennan as the sides return, as the Storm return to full strength. 42 seconds remaining then. Jane Andriel can't fire it past Kimberly Brennan, gets a shot, forces a save, comes back out, they'll go again. Jane Andriel will clear with 30 seconds to go. Beacons edging closer to a second win of the season, and against the same opponents here. Oh, a fanned effort that will allow Sam Bowell to cover up with 20 seconds and change to go. So the Beacons, as I say, just their second win of the season will move them to 6 points. They've had a good haul of points against the Storm this season. 2 wins here and a draw on the road. So 5 points from a possible 8. They would have probably taken that at the start of the season. As the Beacons carry out. 5 seconds to go then. One last push perhaps from Izzy Whitley. She's put the puck in the net, but the buzzer had already gone. The goal won't count. But the Beacons win, and Elvis has left the building. 4-1 win then for the Beacons. It's been a long time in coming. 5 months in fact, but it was worth the wait. And the Beacons get to taste that victory feeling once again. As we get the post-game handshakes underway then, a chance for me to gather my thoughts and perhaps speculate on who could be in contention for player of the game. As always, it's a difficult one. I don't have Carl here to hand off to and hear his thoughts. I thought Sam was outstanding in goal, as you'd expect it to be, and made some important saves which set us on the way, but I think it has to go to Ruby Newlands, doesn't it? Not just for the 2 goals that she scored, but her all-round play was fantastic. And, you know, some of her passing and her skating as well. She looks like she's gained something from her time playing for the senior GB team in Riga last week, and she's brought that back with her and looked fantastic today. Performance of a season from her, I would say, and got those 2 early goals which set the Beacons on their way, and very much had a hand in the third which Steph put home. So my shout would be Ruby for that one. For the Storm, difficult one actually. I thought Jamie Ndritsi was very good on D, as was Beth Milne, who made life difficult for the Beacons, but we shall see. As we are getting ready for the announcements. A reminder then, tomorrow we are on air on Ice Maidens from 7:30 p.m. as the Beacons make the trip down to Solihull, where they take on the current leaders and last season's champions, Solihull Vixens. So we do wait a little longer as the officials are slowly making their way over, and see Liani's there ready with the man of the match, I should say, player of the game awards. First time I think I've slipped up on that one. Izzy Whitley then, no real surprise there. She's always amongst one of the top performers for the Storm game in, game out, so very well done to Izzy. And it is Sam Bolwell who gets the player of the game. I think she didn't realise it was her at first because it's not her jersey. And I think Steph Towns had to say, yes, Sam, it's you, get up. And, well, what a debut for her then, a winning debut. Coming in for the injured Megan Craig. And what a replacement to have. Very well done to Sam and to the Beacons, who are leaving the ice to a very sporting round of applause. They've deserved that win today. Fantastic performance, and they will go into their game with Solihull tomorrow with a lot of confidence. So a great win then. Thank you all for joining us. I've been Adam Atman. Thank you and good afternoon.